Meteor, I owe you an apology. When we last spoke, I promised that I would find a way to convince my brother to accept you, but I fear he intently refuses to heed my words. Why, the more I try to reason with him, the more he shuts his ears to me. All pride and no common sense. That one, I can scarce believe we are kin. So intent is he to prove that you are unneeded that he dashed out into the forest all alone, boasting that he would placate every last elemental and save the forest all by himself. Needless to say, such a task is far beyond his powers. There is part of me that would like nothing more than to see the foolish boy learn his lesson, and yet, as his sister, I fear for him. Would you go look after him, Meteor? Sincere or no, he is, in many ways, still a child, and the forest grows ever more unsafe these days. I thought to go myself, but if you were to save my brother from his own recklessness, perhaps he might finally see how cautious he has been. When last I spoke with him, he announced his intentions to begin his efforts in the Bramble Patch. With any luck, you may still find him there. Now please go in haste before some ill befalls him. If it isn't my sister's favorite adventure, well, come to show me up, have you? Well, you can march right back and tell sister I'm doing just fine. I'm only, resting. Even if I were hurt and unable to placate this tree, what would a run-of-the-mill adventurer like you do about that? Placate the tree? Oh, hey buddy. Look at all this stuff. Alright. So the nice thing about being level 40 is while I don't remember what their voices sound like, it does mean this is probably a lot shorter today. Because it's only every 5 levels, right? Oh, let me just take care of this tree real quick. Not a big deal. Beginner's luck. If you think that healing a sapling or two is gonna convince me that you're a worthy inheritor of the teachings of Master Toya. Oh, Brune. You... Oh, chill. You yourself do not believe those words. Sister, what are you doing here? Seeing to my pig-headed brother's safety. What do you think I am doing? For better or for worse, it would appear that you suffer only from bruises to your leg and your pride. Haroon, for all your obstinacy, I know that deep down, you are no fool. No, you are wise beyond your years. You realize that, as well as I, the dire fate that will befall Gridania if we do not quell the Great One's fury and restore peace to the wood. The adventurer is not Pajali, this is true, but what of it? Would you blindly trumpet tradition as this very forest turns against us and brings ruin to our home? We have a greater calling to answer. You know this. I do, sister. Oh, my dear Arun, what are sisters for, if not to forgive their little brother's fits of folly? Now, Meteor, I believe the most important task of all still awaits us. Let us return to Camp Tranquil.
Alright.
Meteor, thank you. I knew it was only a matter of time before Arun came around to reason, and yet his hesitance to accept you was not entirely unfounded. When we first met, I promised that one day I would share with you the tale of how white magic came to be regarded as a forbidden art. Well, I suppose this is as good a day as any for the telling. The tale begins some 3 millennia ago, in the 5th astral era. It was the time of the endless frost, when a barren wasteland of snow and rime stretched as far as the eye could see. Food was scarce, and warmth scarcer. The histories hold many a grim tale of those who died in their beds, starving and benumbed. So did our ancestors discover magic, born out of the most fundamental instinct: survival. In time, the winter thawed. The magic was no longer essential for survival, but once awakened to its conveniences, there was no returning to how things once were. Ere long, the people discovered all myriad ways in which magic could be employed, and civilization flourished. But prosperity breeds contempt, and nations warred for power and riches. So did the people seek greater and greater power, to rain destruction down upon their enemies. And so was born black magic, the most devastating form of sorcery the world has ever seen. At the same time, another form of magic emerged, brought forth by those who would keep this immense destructive power in check. That is white magic, our magic. Does this surprise you? Just as there can be no dawn without the night, the white and the black are but two sides of the same coin. War raged on, and magic was used to and abused, with little concern for the consequences. And consequences there were. Unchecked use of magic soon dried the flow of ether, threatening to bring blight to the land. The magic of healing, it made little difference. If used with no concern for ether, our magic could prove as ruinous to the land as the most devastating black magic spell. And so it was the practicing of white magic was forbidden, with one exception: the Pajal. Our kind were entrusted as the sole shepherds of the now forbidden art, to serve as healers and bringers of peace while ensuring that this great power would never be misused. Though he is still young, Arun feels this profound sense of responsibility. Strong as any of us, thus, his hesitance to accept you. But having seen your abilities and the sincerity of your intentions, you can rest assured that his doubts have been dispelled with the three of us united in place and purpose your skills ever growing, the day that we may perform the quieting draws near. To our fortune, the Great One has not yet been entirely consumed by fury, but our time remains short. To commune with the Great One, to restore the Twelveswood to its former state of harmony, we must truly be of one heart, one of mind. It is to this end that Atoya Kant has guided you to us. Further your mastery of our art, Meteor, and let us mend the wounds of the woods together. Your command of white magic has advanced considerably, Meteor. Yes, the time draws near. Let us begin our preparations for the quieting. At its roots, the ritual is no different from the acts of pacifying that you have already performed. The difference lies only in the difficulty of effort. The Great One possesses a power unfathomably more immense than the elementals you have communed with thus far. Power so immense that a mage might easily be overwhelmed by the sheer force of will. To prevent such catastrophic fate, our tradition decrees that a special garb must be donned before performing the ritual. I have prepared for you these pieces, but I fear they will not avail you in their current state, and so it is that I would send you on a journey. I trust you know the story of Atoya Kant. Rare among the Pajal, he left the forest behind to travel the realm, healing the land and its people. As tribute to his wanderlust, after he passed, his ashes were divided amongst several urns, which were in turn carried to the far reaches of the realm. And it was there in the distant lands that the great mage so loved that his ashes were buried, and monuments erected in his honor. You are to go on a pilgrimage to these sites, and receive the blessings of your forebear. Only then will the garb I've gifted you be imbued with his divine powers. Mind you, you will find that these places are not as welcoming as they might have been in Master Atoya's time. The first site sits on the shores of western Lenosha, in a place now feared as the Serpent's Tongue, home to a band of vile pirates. The next is to be found in Mordona, in that overgrown labyrinth of roots and vines so affectionately known as the Tangle. I do hope that Master Atoya's ashes have survived those most oppressive environs. The third site I would have you visit is perhaps the most treacherous location of the lot. Raubin's Push in the northern Thanalan, a stone's throw from an Imperial stronghold. I urge you to exercise extreme caution.
That name didn't look genuine. So if that was one of you guys, sorry if I projected your friend request. I was playing the other day and I got a bunch of friend requests, and then when I accepted one of them, it was just a gold spammer. Oh, cool. So, now I reject any that don't look like at least a real name. So if I see like a bunch of consonants in a row at a glance, I just toss it. Ugh. I don't know if that helps them avoid like some spam bot or something. It's like, oh, that's just spam among friends. What's friends without spam? All right. How did Hullbreaker go? We got distracted doing other stuff. I got distracted playing with Clamor. And I realized that I'm already on the level 40 quest. because I've already started all this, so I already was having trouble remembering the 30 and 35 stuff. Just gonna jump into it. Straight in. If we have time for dungeons, we'll go back. I also actively don't like that with all these cutscenes, I can't wear good-looking glamour the whole time. This is okay. What I'm wearing right now is fine. But like my Dragoon, there's nothing good for Dragoon at that level range. Fate failed. Shocking. I didn't want to be doing a Fate. Wait, do I have to be wearing the gear that she gave me? No. The gravestone is inscribed with an epitaph paying tribute to the life and deeds of the great mage Atoya Kant. Alright. Off to more donuts. Off to more donuts. Oh, I got the motorcycle again. 2 in a row. But I did up my eye level. I was down at like 39, and so I was a little worried that I was going to get out here and fight something that was going to kill me. So it's not like a 130 set, but it's something. Okay. There we go. Try to give Chris something montage worthy there. Hold on. Training more troops. Training more troops in Rise of Kingdoms. After this, we'll do probably Rogue. You don't know if it's strange or completely makes sense that everybody left their super important clothes all around Eorzea. I don't know. Maybe like somebody heard of it and they're like, that sounds awesome, and so then like every person that wants to be a legend now just like leaves clothes places. Okay. Or has their ashes spread or whatever. Looks like I can only upgrade buildings so much. Alright. Your safe return heartens me, Meteor. I can feel newfound power emanating from the garb I gave you. I trust that this stage of your pilgrimage was a success. Now that you have traveled the realm and seen the land as Master Atoya did, I would share with you the rest of his tale. The histories claim that Atoya Kant disappeared into the mountains of Okamura, the Kobold motherland. This is not untrue, but there is more to the story. When the great mage did not return from his journey, one of his most devoted students went in search of him. As the legends have it,
The young mage single-handedly fought off veritable legions of kobolds while scouring the mountains for any sign of his master. Sadly, it was all as feared. Though the young mage eventually found his master, our great Atoya Kant lived no more. As if the death of a man were not enough, Thyrus, Atoya Kant's great staff, a mighty relic passed down by his ancestors, was lost to the shadows. Undeterred, the young mage fought off the kobold hordes to carry his master's remains back to the surface. A ceremony was held to honor Master Atoya's life, and deeds and urns housing his ashes were carried off to the far-reaching frontiers of which he was so fond in his living years. All the urns, that is, except for one. Yes, though the precise location is known to only a few. Master Atoya also rests closer to home, here in the Twelveswood, not far from Proud Creek. You will find yet another monument to the great mage. Take with you this habit, and pay your respects as before. If you keep your intentions in your heart and in your mind, then the healer's robe shall be your reward.
So the other ones were like, these clothes won't work unless you go to the old people's ashes. But this one is like, if you go where we hid part of his body and didn't tell anybody, he'll give you a shirt. Oh, come on. That's what the pants look like? I'm wearing little boxer shorts? I'm not impressed. Oh, come on. No, 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 no. Yes, yes, Dulahan, you shall die to my flowery staff in my boxer shorts. My rippling lion thighs thrusting out at you with every cast. Yes. I just look like I forgot to wear pants. Is it unmarked or anything? This grave has been defiled and its contents appear to have been stolen. The power of Atoya Kant has been lost here. Return to Camp Tranquil and seek counsel from Raya Osina. So if I pray here, nothing happens? Oh, Midgard chuckles at me. Such a fool. You think you can get power from running around in boxer shorts, mere mortal? No, but I'm trying to get this done before we go into Heavensward. Maybe there was only one shirt. And somebody just took it. Is it you? Oh, I have the rope.
The urn holding Master Atoya's ashes was stolen? This cannot be.
It is.
Grave robbery is a damnable crime in itself, but what manner of scoundrel would dare defile the resting place of a Pajol?
It was a secret. None of them knew it was a Pajal. If you told them it was a Pajal, maybe they wouldn't have defiled it.
Rest assured that I will investigate this heinous crime immediately. In the meantime, your pilgrimage demands you travel to one last destination. The final leg of your journey will take you to the very place that Master Atoya drew his breath. Hogamoro, the homeland of the kobolds in Outer Lenosha. It is there, in plain sight of the kobold dig, that the student of whom I spoke did erect a monument to his fallen master.
I will just take note that even around pirates and beasts, nobody defiled any of the known grave sites. They're like, we left this one unmarked. Oh my god, people didn't even respect it. Yeah. Maybe that's why we don't leave unmarked monuments. Because people think it's just some random dead guy in a shirt. The gravestone is inscribed to an epitaph paying tribute to the life and deeds of a great mage Atoya Kant. Ah, see how this one's labeled? And it wasn't secret? And even these kobolds that they feel are so awful didn't mess with it out of probably respect. Shocking. Shocking. The questlines out of Gridania are just filled with ineptitude. It's like their entire city hinges upon the maturity of children.
Who would dare knock over an unmarked rock? Oh my gosh. Who would dare do it? Oh no. Welcome back, Meteor. The journey was not an easy one, I trust, and yet I knew that Master Atoya would guide you safely back to me. In your travels, you have received the blessings of our great ancestor, and yet this was not the sole reason I sent you on this pilgrimage. Perhaps you sensed something of my intentions during your trip. Yes, Meteor, as he who would inherit Master Atoya's legacy, I wanted you to truly walk in his footsteps, to see the realm in both its beauty and its suffering with your own eyes, as the great mage did so long ago. And yet it is strange, no? A pirate's lair, a rampant jungle, mountains of fire, all the hostile environs to which you journeyed, and I sent you. A single grave, despoiled, was that which rests right here in our own forest home, unlabeled as a stack of rocks no one could have known was valuable. I suspect this was the handiwork of no witless grave robber, but rather someone doing it accidentally, or someone probably doing it accidentally, or someone who knew all too well the value of what was buried within. They knew because it was unmarked and untold, and a complete secret, except among 2, maybe 3 living children at a given time. We must uncover the truth behind this crime, and return Master Atoya's ashes to their rightful resting place. And quickly. Are you with me, yes?